What's up guys, Jacob Ober here. In this video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots this Sunday night in Foxborough, and we're going to be talking about whether or not the Packers can pull off this upset this Sunday night. So, last week, obviously, the Packers lost to the Rams in LA. I made a video beforehand talking about whether or not the Packers could upset the Rams, and for the most part, they did pretty much everything that I said in that video except one thing. They turned the ball over at the very, very end of that game, and that's what ended up costing them a chance at a win. And I personally guarantee you that they would have won that game if Ty Montgomery didn't take that football out. Obviously, Ty Montgomery got traded after that game, so he will not be the kick returner anymore, but to me, going into Foxborough and playing the Patriots is a much more daunting task than playing the LA Rams. Now, obviously, the Rams were undefeated coming into the game, but there was a large amount of Packer fans in the Coliseum for that football game. And, I mean, given the fact that there's a lot of Packer fans in California and that Aaron Rodgers played at Cal, it doesn't come to me as a surprise that there are a lot of Packer fans. And, in fact, the game at times felt a lot like a Packers home game there in LA. But going into Foxborough, an entirely different experience. Foxborough is, to me, the toughest place in the NFL to play. It's like Lambeau Field in the late '90s, early 2000s. Like you don't win there. Like, I mean, it's just impossible. Like it's so hard to win on the road at Foxborough. But the Packers, I do think, have a fighting chance, and they're going to have to do a few select things to ensure that they end up having a chance to win this football game. To me, the first one, similar to last week, they gotta be perfect. They just have to be perfect. Like, this is a team that isn't going to beat themselves. The Patriots are not going to make mistakes, especially on offense. That's what they are prided on. They don't turn the football over. The Packers can't beat themselves. If they're going to win this game, they just cannot beat themselves. They have to outplay the Patriots in this game. And, I mean, if they don't, they're going to have a very slim chance at winning the football game. So, they just have to play perfect. They can't turn the ball over. They can't afford any turnovers. They can't have any costly mistakes, especially late in the game. It's got to be perfect football. The second thing the Packers are going to have to do to win this football game, and this is the big one here, Aaron Rodgers has to outplay Tom Brady in this game if the Packers want to win. And that just speaks to how valuable Aaron Rodgers is to this team. If Aaron Rodgers is not able to outplay Tom Brady in this game, I don't see any way the Packers win it. Aaron Rodgers has got to be able to throw for a substantial amount of yards and at least 2 or 3 touchdowns in this game. He's got to play a really, really good game for the Packers to win it. He can't turn the ball over. Obviously, historically, he's been very, very good at that. In fact, the best quarterback in NFL history at not turning the football over. But on the other side, you have a quarterback who, if allowed to dictate the pace of the football game, is almost unbeatable. I mean, if you give Brady the football, he is, I would say, I know game manager is a term that is used to describe a not-so-good quarterback, but used in actuality, Brady is actually, in my opinion, the best game manager of all time. Like, if you put the game in his hands, if you give him a lead and let him determine the pace of the football game, there is almost no chance that you win it. So the Packers have to be able to outgun Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers specifically has to be able to outgun Tom Brady. If he can't, then I really don't see any way the Packers win this football game, and that really speaks volumes to how valuable Aaron Rodgers is to the Packers, because I think that the Patriots still have a good chance of winning, even if Aaron Rodgers outplays Tom Brady. But if Brady outplays Rodgers, I really don't see any way the Packers are able to win this football game, which is kind of scary to think about. So Rodgers has to be able to outplay Brady, and I think the Packers have to rely a lot on Rodgers. Now, that might not be ideal, and I know that goes against a lot of what I said over the past few weeks here when I do my game previews. I want the Packers to be able to run the football effectively, but let's be honest, if it's not working early on, screw it. Let Aaron Rodgers throw the football. This Patriots defense is terrible against the pass. They are 29th in the NFL, giving up an average of almost 300 yards a game. So Aaron Rodgers is going to have an advantage over that Patriots defense, more so than Brady over the Packers defense, which is encouraging to think about, because having that advantage is really a big plus in this game. And if you look at the statistics, if you think back, teams that have the advantage against a certain defense usually win the game versus the other team having an advantage over your defense. The third and final key for the Packers to win this football game is simply keeping the Patriots out of the end zone. It goes a long way to force the Patriots, or force any team for that matter, to kick field goals instead of score touchdowns. And I know it's kind of obvious that obviously any team wants to be able to keep the other team out of the end zone, but when you have Aaron Rodgers on your side, I am fairly certain that Aaron Rodgers is going to get at least 3 or 4 touchdown passes in this game, if not maybe more. And he's going to put up his points. So to be able to limit the amount of touchdowns the Patriots score is going to be huge in this game. And if you think about it, like 3 touchdowns compared to 3 field goals, that's a difference of 12 points right there. That could be huge, especially when you're determining the pace of the game. And you really don't want Tom Brady to be dictating that. You don't want the Patriots to have this game under their control. You don't want to play this game by the Patriots' terms. You don't want to get down by any scores. You want to be able to increase your lead on them and keep them down as long as possible in this football game. So for that reason, the Packers, especially defensively, they really need to be able to keep the Patriots out of the end zone, force them to kick field goals. I don't think it's really possible to keep the Patriots fully in check on offense, but you can stop them once they get into the red zone, and that's going to be key for the Packers to do that in order to win this football game. Now, time for predictions. So, I think a lot of people are really underestimating the chance that the Packers have at winning this football game. They think that the Packers are a team that has really not played all that well this season, and they haven't. But really, if you look at it, the Packers have played up to their competition this year. They played down to their competition this year, and in the moment, they really rise to the occasion, and they did so against the Rams last weekend. They fell short in the end, but I mean, they really were in that game, and they had the Rams for the majority of that game. And if you remember, going into the Coliseum and playing the undefeated Rams on the road was already an impossible task for the team, and the Packers showed that they could play toe-to-toe with that team. The Patriots aren't as good of a team as the Rams are, if you remember. The Patriots' offense isn't as good as the Rams' offense this year, and their defense certainly isn't as good as the Rams' defense this year. So, I mean, playing in Foxborough obviously is a different atmosphere, and I think it's going to be a much tougher challenge for the Packers. But, I mean, they really do have a good chance to win this football game, and if they can follow what I said, those 3 keys, they're going to have a very good chance to win this football game. And in fact, if they do all 3 of those things, if they don't turn the ball over, if Rodgers outplays Brady, and if they can hold the Patriots to field goals, they are going to win the football game. So I don't know if the Packers are going to accomplish all 3 of those things, but I do think that they are going to win. And the reason why is because when you look at the matchups here, when you look at the Packers offense versus the Patriots defense, the Packers have a really big advantage in that department. The Patriots offense versus the Packers defense. Obviously, the Patriots offense does have an advantage in that department, but I think the Packers are going to have a better chance at stopping the Patriots offense. And they did a very good job at holding the Rams offense in check last weekend. So, I mean, there's a chance that the Packers put together another strong performance here. As for the Patriots, I don't really think that they're going to have much chance from the beginning against the Packers offense. They're giving up almost 300 yards a game through the year. They gave up 400 yards passing to Blake Bortles. So who knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do with this Patriots defense. There is a chance that they put together a better performance than expected, but I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to get his yards and points no matter what. So in that respect, I think the Packers have the advantage in that department, and I think that's what's ultimately going to decide this football game. The Packers having a bigger advantage over the Patriots defense than the Patriots offense having over the Packers defense. And that could mean a lot in the end of the game, because if the Packers need a big stop from their defense, they have a better chance at getting it than the Patriots have at stopping the Packers offense, I think, late in the game. So, anyways, guys, so that's what I think about this game. Final score prediction, I'm going to say the Packers take this one 34-27. It's going to be a close, tough-fought game, lots of points scored, and it's going to be thrilling, and I'm glad it's on Sunday Night Football. And really, we don't get to see matchups like this very often. It's really, really cool that we get to see Brady and Rodgers play. Only the second time that they've ever met in the regular season. And, I mean, it's unfortunate that we haven't gotten to see these two guys play in the Super Bowl. We've gotten close a few years, but unfortunately the Packers weren't able to uphold their end of the bargain and help Aaron Rodgers get to the Super Bowl to get that Rodgers versus Brady matchup in the Super Bowl. But, I mean, this is primetime football. This is one of the best quarterback matchups we'll ever see. Very equivalent almost to Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, all those great matchups in the AFC. Don't get this one as often, so that's why we got to cherish it as much as possible. And hopefully we get a good football game, a blowout on either side. Obviously, if I'm a Packer fan, a blowout would not anger me in the slightest, but I really do hope this is a good football game, and it's going to be really entertaining to watch. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do the Packers have a chance to win this football game? And if so, how are the Packers going to be able to upset the Patriots? Leave a like and subscribe, you guys. And as always, thanks for watching. Go Pack, go.